Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spiegel Mom Scraps channel. It's Katelyn here with another design team video. Be sure to use my code Katelyn15 for 15% off your order. Today I'm featuring some Shimmers products that are in the Spiegel Mom Scrap shop. First I'm starting off with a colorings, which is in the color Palm. It's actually Keep Palm, but I'm going to pour some of this onto some extra plastic I have and then add a little bit more water. And since I've already gessoed my cardstock here, I'm just going to squish this down. So it's a pretty easy technique. Adding more water will give you more results. I do several layers of this because I wanted a lot of green on my background. I would recommend using a smaller piece of plastic. This became very messy very quickly. And I do plan on putting my photos in the center, so I want to have that green spread throughout the entire background. So you'll see me do that there. And I'm going to blot off some of the darker spots just so it doesn't get too heavy. And I'm going to add a couple more little splashes of it around with some drippings here. And again, that's the Keep Palm color. And since I wasn't happy with how dark the color was, I decided to go back and add more water and then more coloring on top of that to spread it around. So now would have been a great time to use the larger sheet, but since I'd already thrown that away, I decided to grab a smaller one. And it adds a lot of texture in the end, which is fun. So I'm going to set that aside to dry and then clean up really quick. So while that is drying, I'm going to actually take the Peas Be Mine acrytones here, and I'm going to paint some wood veneer from my stash. I paint an arrow and a bird and an asterisk, and I painted 3 wood veneer on purpose because I wanted to create a visual triangle with these green elements. So I'm just using paint straight out of the bottle and a paintbrush and then spreading it on. And of course I have my protective mat on my work surface so I don't get paint all over my white desk. I also did paint a camera, which I almost forgot about. But again, all the same color, and this is this paint's so great because it's so thick, and you don't need to do multiple coats like you would with traditional acrylic paints most of the time. So now that all of those are painted, I'm going to wipe off my surface. As you can see, it made a little bit of a mess. So now that that's cleaned up, we can start working on some other items. So I have 2 photos that I'm featuring today. They are both waterfall photos. One's a view from the top and one's a view from the bottom, as you can probably tell based on my title. But I figured I wasn't done with mixed media quite yet. I decided to pull out this Fiskars stencil and my pasties in the Cream Teen, which is a beautiful color. Definitely pick that up if you haven't already. It's definitely got this beautiful like pearl finish when you're done, and I really think it just adds such glint of, and not shimmer because it's not sparkly, but it adds just a glint of shine when on your projects. So I use this Fiskars stencil that looks like leaves to get more of that natural bohemian feel for my waterfall photos. And like I said, these photos are both of the same waterfall, and one's a view from the top and one's a view from the bottom, which is hence the title, View from the Top and Bottom. So while I let that dry, I'm going to imagine what I'm going to do with the layers of my photo. Of course, I still have more cleanup to do because everything got super dirty because I used so many mixed media things this time, which is unlike me for the most part. I do a lot of clean and simple layouts, but I'm really glad I got to experiment with some more mixed media this time around. So now I'm looking for a border for my mixed media sheet here. I know there's a lot of white on the edges, so I want to cut some of that off. And luckily I had this beautiful light blue and cream lace pattern, and that's actually from DCWV. I believe it's from the Mint and Lace stack, which I don't know if it's any longer available, but you can check your local retailer. So now I'm just trimming my mixed media background so it fit on the frame that I already had pre-cut. And I trimmed from various sides just to make sure I trimmed off most of the white part that I wasn't happy with. So I'm going to add glue to the edges here using my ATG gun to make sure it sticks very well, and then trying to line that up beautifully around the edges here. So my mixed media is very dry by now, which is really great about these products is they dry fairly quickly, especially the pasties, despite it being a modeling paste texture. I pulled out these die cuts from my stash, which are from Recollections. These are actually part of a banner kit, which is a great way to sort of stretch your stash is buying things like this. So this was like a party section item, but I bought it anyway because they're large die cuts in a way. Even though they have some holes on them to make them into a banner, it works really well for die cuts as well. So I pulled out some beautiful gold metallics, some little leaves there, which mimic the mixed media I did as well, which is fun to bring in that element again to reiterate that natural feeling. And I have this scrap paper from DCWV, and it's just a gold foil floral paper, so I decided to layer that under both of my photos. And you'll see I also pulled out some thickers, which will come back in later since I'm working on positioning now, but it says top and bottom, and I'm going to put view from the, so it makes sense, so top and bottom. Since the left picture is from the top section of the waterfall, so before we climb down the ravine, and then the one is from the bottom, so when we're actually at the base of the waterfall. I'm going to mount this photo on a 6x6 paper from the Wisteria collection by Basic Gray, using up some of my older stash. I really like mixing the greens with pastels, so although this photo is very green and brown because it's a very natural photo, it was really fun to mix in this light purple and light blue, so bring in another pop of color. So now I'm writing down some details like the date off the back of the photo so I don't forget to add it to the layout, even though I don't think I end up adding it on this video. I do add it later on after the camera got turned off. And now that both of those have some layers, I am going to start positioning my die cuts. So I situate them as so, and then I'm content with it as for now, but I thought I was going to use a lot more die cuts than I did, but instead I pull out my wood veneer to start placing those. And I figured I wanted to use some arrows because I want to indicate which one's the top and which one's the bottom photo, even though it's a little bit self-explanatory. So I pulled out the arrow that I painted green, and that wood veneer arrow is from Hobby Lobby. And then I also pull out some of my other items, like the wood veneer bird that I painted, and start laying those around based on some of where my layers are. So I pull out some more arrow pieces. This one is from Bella Boulevard's tabbies. I think it's from the boy collection, Alex, or I don't remember what it's called off the top of my head. But I use a couple of tabbies from that, and I'm going to start gluing things down since I'm liking the way it's coming out. I really like how the photos overlap and that there's title beneath and below the photos. So now I'm going to glue down that little arrow. It's white with green polka dots, and I don't think it pulls up on camera well. It looks like it's black polka dots, but it's green. I also have my Spiegel Mop scrap sequence pulled out. I'm going to use Nature Walk on this layout. It's the perfect combination of greens and browns and wood grains to really just embody any nature photos you have. It works great for so many different things. So if you head over to the shop to look for that, don't forget to look for some Shimmers items and use my code Katelyn15 for 15% off your order. So now that I have those items glued down, I clearly have to figure out the rest of my title. So right now it just says top and bottom, which is just a little bit awkward. So I decided to pull out these Teresa Collins tiny letter stickers. And I realized I don't want to write all the words in tiny letter stickers, so I pull out the same white stickers again and put view. So it's going to say view from the top and bottom. So I end up moving my camera that I glued down so I could fit the little Teresa Collins tiny letter stickers in there as well. So I'm going to put some glue down, and then I'm going to write from the, I wish I had some like gold little thicker stickers, but I don't. So it was either white or black on, no, white letters on black background or black letters on white background. So I went with black letters on white background because I thought it went best with the layout to keep it more light. So now there's my title, view from the top and then view from the bottom. I think it works out at least. And then I glue my wood veneer camera down again. And here's the Nature Walk sequence I mentioned earlier. I'm going to scatter these around. I think they're so, so beautiful. I love that there's light greens and there's like translucent greens and then dark greens. Green is a color that I scrapbook with a lot, and this is definitely a sequin mix you need if you also scrapbook a lot of nature photos, or if you have a lot of boys that you're scrapbooking. It definitely helps quite a bit. There's also some clear ones in there which really help, but it's just a great, great mix. So definitely head over to the Spiegel Mop Scrap store. I have it linked down below for you if you're interested. I also have direct links to all the products I use from the Spiegel Mop Scrap store. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to give this a thumbs up. I also plan on adding some tiny phrase stickers at the end here. But after that, this layout is complete. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe for more videos from the Spiegel Mop Scrap Sparklers design team. There's lots of fun ones coming up in the month of June, so definitely stay tuned for those. But again, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!